Hi, my name is Mark. I'm from MCRCWA, and we're going to start doing some technical videos. As we get closer to race season, it becomes imperative for those starting to get into racing to understand what they need to prep on their bike, how to prep the bike to have everything ready for race day. So these videos are there to help essentially develop the basics of what it takes to get your bike over the scrutineering element, ready to go racing with. So there's a lot of subjects that our chief scrutineer came up with that we should start addressing. For tonight, I'm going to talk about shark fins, as it's one of the hardest ones to fix on a race day. It takes a bit of preparation work. So we'll talk about what a shark fin is, what it actually does, and how to install one on your bike at the same time. So what is a shark fin? A shark fin is this little device. It's attached to your swing arm, and it just stops your foot from getting caught between the chain and the rear sprocket if your foot does come off the foot peg. So the tools you're going to need for the job will be your ruler, first of all, to do your measuring of the holes, which we'll go through in a minute. Your punch to punch the initial holes before you use your drill to get through there. A tap set to essentially screw the holes out and get your thread in there. Or the alternative to that would be to use a riv nut gun and riv nuts. It's my preferred option, but I don't have any on this bike. And then your Allen keys just to assemble, as well as your Loctite. I'm using a low strength one for this job. So to fit one to your bike, depending on your swing arm type and the thickness of the aluminium, you can just drill holes and tap into the actual swing arm itself. And what you'll be doing is just tapping at these widths here on either side, which will allow you to get these bolts to run through and hold it up in place. Because what happens is the actual shark fin itself attaches through there. So the first thing you want to do is just work out where your shark fin actually needs to go. So I get my bracket and my shark fin and I just mount them together or put them together like so. And you just want to work out the positioning for that. So you don't want it too far forward that there's a big space between your sprocket and the actual shark fin itself. So somewhere around this area. There's no specific spot in the GCRs as such, but this kind of area is where you want it, just to make sure that everything will deflect correctly. So once you've got the spot where you want it to go, you have your bracket and you're just marking out your holes. For this one, it's 34 mil center to center on the holes itself. So you just got to know where that needs to go. And then you need to score up punch or something else to mark where you want those holes to come through. Once you have them marked, bracket goes away. You get your drill bit, slightly smaller than the actual bolts you'll be using, obviously, because you need to tap that into a larger size. So you tap through using your drill into your swing arm, like so. And then once those are tapped, or once they're drilled, ready to go, you then get your tapping piece and tapping tool. It's easier with the wheel out and the sprocket out the way as well, but in this situation, mine's in place. So you're then using your tap, either in each of those holes, just to clean them out and put some thread in there so you can then use your bolts. Now, if you follow the first lot of steps correctly, it's just now reinstalling the bracket itself. So you're getting one of your bolts, putting it through the bracket element, ready to attach. I always recommend using some low strength to medium strength Loctite. Race bike bolts just rattle loose over time. So a bit of Loctite just helps keep everything in place and stops it from falling off and having to go buy another one. So once you're Loctited, both bolts go back in again to hold that in place. Right, so my bracket itself is now back in place again. I've then got to reinstall the shark fin. Same thing again, a little bit of Loctite just on your two bolts that go into it, because everything will potentially rattle loose, and it's just good practice to do that. I've seen numerous things fall on the track, everything from crash protection, gear foot pegs, everything that's not Loctited essentially can potentially end up on the track, and you don't want that happening. And that's it. That is the shark fin installed on a bike. Thanks for watching tonight's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there are any subjects that you think we should cover off, please do let us know via the Facebook page or admin@mcrcwa.com.au. We just want to take your suggestions and try and help improve, make this whole process for you to get into racing easier.